The title race in Scotland continues, and Chris Sutton has gave his thoughts as Rangers came back for 1-0 down against Kilmarnock, and of course Celtic destroyed Dundee 7-1 and their team bus. But Chris Sutton did describe Rangers as under Philip Clement, they find a way, and that's exactly what they do. And I think Rangers took a leaf out of Celtic's book in recent months, where they play pish for a half, but then turn it on in the second half. Not that Rangers were particularly fantastic in the second half, but they got the job done. And as Chris Sutton says, they find the way. And if you actually look right at Rangers under Clement in the league, if you want to factor in Europe and the cups as well, even the games where we've dropped points, you look at the Pittodrie game, should have lost that. Should have lost that, and yeah, we can talk about the penalty, but the fact of the matter is this: Rangers, they picked up a point when they shouldn't have, and therefore that's still finding a way. Because yeah, at the time, you're raging from a Rangers point of view because you should have beat Aberdeen at Pittodrie, right? But they still found a way to at least get something out the game, and that point has obviously got us 2 points clear of Celtic rather than one. Also, you look at the other game where Rangers got beat 2-1 by Celtic. Didn't find a way to get a result in the game, but at 2-0 down to 10 men, they found a way to get themselves back into it. Under Beale, or in the past, when Rangers are 2-0 down at Parkhead and a man down, we could have very easily lost that like 6-0 by just throwing away goals in the last, the dying embers of that game in the last half an hour. So only to lose at 2-1 could be crucial, because you look at the goal difference for Rangers, and it is +1. If that swung Celtic's way and they won like 5 or 6-0, also that could have dented confidence. And they absolutely do find a way. Even in Europe, we found a way. Against Sparta Prague, away. Somehow drew that game. Yeah, in the end could have won it, but managed to hold on pretty much due to Jack Butland. Again, with Sparta Prague at home, 2-1. There's been a lot of games where Rangers have managed to hang on. 1-0 against St Mirren, 2-1 against Aberdeen. So they do manage to find a way, and that's just the difference, man. And also, obviously, of course, at Rugby Park, you've got to find a way to win. Champions find a way to win, whether it be they hang on or they just come up with a vital moment in the game right at the death. But as for Celtic, of course, they did defeat Dundee 7-1, and Chris Sutton said the following. He says, "We don't know which Celtic team is going to turn up on the evidence of what we've seen this season." End of quote there, just to sum it up. I mean, it's kind of true. Like, they do turn up for 45, and then another 45 that could be a bit better. But he said this as if Celtic either play absolutely abysmal or they blow teams away, when that's not been the case. I think they've just been consistently poor. But in recent months, I think they have got a bit worse. It's not a case of Celtic are, holy shit, man, Celtic are pumping my team 6-0 one week, and then they're going away and scraping a draw. That's not really what's happened, man. It's consistently poor performances for Celtic. But again, they do have a gimmick of they're good for a half and then bad for a half. Or bad for a half, good for a half. Either way, they can't really seem to string 45 minutes together. And you could probably argue that even for the game yesterday, because they were 6-0 up in the first half and actually drew the second half. Even having a man advantage for like the last 20 minutes. But again, you're not going to complain too much about winning 7-1. They did make a few substitutions as well. You saw the likes of Cal McGregor come off, getting some rest time, which makes sense. Like, it's the same with Rangers. As much as like the captain matters to the team, see when it's games like that that are dead and buried, it makes sense to rest them because they never get rest. And like, Tav is so crucial to Rangers. It's like his most goal contribution season ever, right? Obviously, there's not the greatest amount of right back options at Rangers. Like, you could play Sterling in there, but I do think he's underutilised sticking him in at the right back position. But if we're playing a team at home that's not really up to much, if you're playing Livy at home, do we always really need to fire Tavernier in there? I think it would be good to rest players here. But Clement's done that, to be fair. It just seems to be like, well, Tavernier, he's never going to get rested. But Calmac, he got a well-needed rest, didn't he? He got a wee goal as well on the brink of half-time. And then Big Brenda was like, it's alright, big man. But that is where we're going to leave this video, troops. Chris Sutton reacting to it. I mean, the title fight, still alive, percentages and all that. 80-20, I would still put it in Rangers' favour. A lot of people saying if they came through the Hearts and Kelly games, Rangers would be looking good, and some people are saying they've already won it. I said if they got through these two games with wins, they've got one hand on the trophy, and I do believe that, because I look at the next 4 games. Rangers, it's going to be 12 points. I'm not too convinced that Celtic's going to get 12 points. And I just think if Rangers don't drop any points to the next Old Firm, and the fact it's at Ibrox, that's a massive advantage. Massive, massive advantage. Because if Rangers can build a 5 point gap, not that it makes the last Old Firm irrelevant, but it's almost like, yeah, we can lose and still win the league quite comfortably. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. Till next time, peace.